G'day, doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. Welcome to the Pregame podcast. This will only be a quick one, 10 or 15 minutes. Not sure what anyone's doing right now, but I just had to get on and talk about the boys. Big day coming up, obviously, for a lot of our youngsters. 21 of the 28 players named today, Bulldogs juniors, through our system, which is really, really good. So, guys, I'm just going to talk about which positions I think are up for grabs, who to look out for today, obviously. There's a bunch of players to look out for, but we will show the sides. But first of all, I'm just going to talk about the positions that I think are up for grabs. The back line, I think, settled. I think it's Tracy Montoya, Cherry, Critter, Carraz, Burton, and Sexton. We'll see what Wilson has to say about that today. Max King and Reed Marnie in the front row. Kick out Preston. I think Tupanua and Mann will play in those roles. Curran, and I think Moran will be in the side. After what I saw last night, I know it's unlimited interchange, but it is a high-class sort of match. 4 quarters, pretty hot weather. Curtis Moran was one of the best players on the field, watching from a proud Bulldog supporter, obviously. And I don't care what anyone says about his size. I think, g'day, Jamie, and thank you so much, Mitch. Much appreciated. Wilson's out today, is he? Let's have a look. Let's bring this up. This side that I've got across here isn't the side that will play today. This is the side where I think the positions are actually already sorted. And I think basically we're fighting for who's going to be the front rower to partner Max King and who's going to fill that other spot on the bench. I think that's what's up for grabs, and I think that's what we'll find out from the trials. I do believe the only other possible one, obviously, is Montoya, Tuwala, or what's his bloody face, Blake Wilson. So let's check out if the sides have been updated. I'll present that on the screen right now. Hopefully I do better than the other day when I did it. So let's have a look. It's pretty small. We'll try and make me smaller and make it bigger. See if that can happen. Almost sounded wrong, that. Wish I could get a little bit smaller and it could get a little bit big. Anyway, so yes, it looks like, so you're right, Blake Wilson is not playing today. And we have the sides, Blake Taff, Jonathan Sewer, and Ratu Rinikama on the wings. Luke Smith and Danny Gabriel in the centres. Drew Hutchison and Joey O'Neill in the halves. Saluka Fafita, Bailey Howard, Samuel Hughes fill the front row. Harry Hayes and Lipboy Hopboy in the second row, and Jamin Salmon named captain. And as the lock, Ruben Moyle, the up-and-coming hooker at 14, Tom Amone, Alec Jones, and Jack Todd are your named 14 to 17 interchange bench with our reserves who can all get a run. Everyone can get a run in this. Cassius Tier, expect to see him play half a game. Tay Cochran, Logan Spinks, I'll expect him to play half a game. Zion Mayu, Ragarev, Mr. Warwick, sorry, I always struggle with the name. Cooper Toy from the Roosters, who I was updated about him in my last podcast. Taniela Otokolo, Jed Reardon from Tamora, son of Steve Reardon. William Afualo, who is a really a very good player. And Jack Underhill. We all want to see Jack get out there and have a run. Not as many players named for the Tigers, but they have some good players and some former Bulldogs in Tim Johansson and his brother also there in Noah Johansson. And obviously the big one, Jarrell Skelton. So what do we got here, guys? It's the first game. It's the first trial. What are we going to expect? Tell me what you expect. I just expect the guys to go out there and try and defend hard, set the tone early and attempt to, play off the back of that and let them young guys do their stuff. I think there'll be a lot of energy from the team, especially from some of the fringe players. I expect them to go extra hard. I expect them to represent the Bulldogs with pride today. Damo Dogs, first grade, man to start, Toops to have bench spot. Yeah, you're probably right, Damo. I've just got this gut feeling that keeps coming in. Like in the team I named in the competition we're doing. I don't know if you've done yours yet, but the competition with all things Bulldogs is you name your 17 and see how close you can get. The person who gets the closest can win something. Jamie just wants us to play hard and show some heart. That's exactly what we've got to be built off. A lot of talk about the Bulldogs. Dogs have done a bit of talk themselves. And when Phil Gould comes out and says he doesn't just want us to be, contending for premierships and that sort of stuff, he wants us to be the best club in Australia and why not the world. So let's go for it. And that's the shit we want to hear. Searching and striving for excellence. There's a lot of talk, though. We've got some good depth there, some good players, but we'll see where they're at. I don't expect the Bulldogs to be a free-flowing attacking unit come round one. I agree with Cameron Serrato. They've come from that Penrith system, and they're going to do what works good, build confidence through defence. They trust Toby now. His teammates trust him. He trusts himself to defend that line and defend that edge from day one. If that means that they're not quite as effective because they're working hard in defence, and that attack takes a while to gel, and we have some close wins and some close losses, that's fine. That's how you build your season. That's what we watch the Panthers do every year, and that's what we've got to do as part of this. And, it's great to see the announcement of Jack Todd and Jack Underhill extending with the Bulldogs. Both will... it's just a really good sign that those two kids have been extended. And they won't be on huge money, and that's another good thing as well, because as we progress, we get that value from having these young kids fill our team, and that's exactly what we want to do. G'day, Timmy. Welcome, mate. Thank you so much. Exciting times. Had to get on here and have a chat, and I can't stay for too long because I have to pick my missus up from the train station and whatever. So I'm watching her we've got our little, stalker app, whatever it's called, Life 360. Give it a plug. And that allows us to know where we are and when we can pick each other up and that sort of stuff, which is really good. I'm about to leave and go to the local club to watch the trial. Good on you, brother. I hope to watch a game with you one day, my friend. That'll definitely be on the hit list. So yeah, guys, that team rolling across the bottom of the screen are the positions that I believe are already filled. I think Kurt Morin is a starting 17 player, but we'll see how it all turns out. We'll see about the injuries. Curran had apparently hurt himself a bit last night. His desperation was there for all to see. Again, same with Curtis Morin. The desperation from both of those guys in key moments was huge for their sides. I felt there was a time, Curran, there where he got him behind the line. He could have linked up with a player and didn't pass. It was costly, but everything else he did, all the efforts he put in, were just amazing for that side. And it was just that concept has to stay. The desperation all those players put into that match shows how much it means to them. And as far as the spectacle goes, I love it. There's, so many good players coming through that you can see aren't too far off NRL level and a lot of talent on show. So, probably expected more of the Maori side, to be honest. I felt while they didn't have that halves connection, they sort of had a lot of, that's where they sort of struggled. Kurt Morin actually played more like the small lock forward in that game. Took the runs when he needed to, which you'd expect. But he also played as that link man a lot. Could have engaged a little bit more, but I felt he did a pretty good job. And he did a lot of that in the juniors coming through when he was player of the year, coming through flag and stuff like that for New South Wales Cup. Did a lot of that link play. So people who don't believe he can be part of that small lock rotation. Whether we see him do that for Canterbury or not is another thing. Obviously, the Maoris lacked a little bit in the connectivity with players like that. So obviously he's put his hand up and he could do that. I felt his effort was outstanding, and he just showed why he continues to get picked for Canterbury Bankstown. I'm just read that, Timmy. I'm so sorry for your loss, mate, and I'll definitely be thinking of you and your family today. And hopefully the Dogs can put up a nice performance for you and give you a little bit of happiness. 91 years old. That's a great innings. Hopefully she was healthy towards most of that and had a good life. But yeah, mate, I'm very sorry to hear about that, and my thoughts are with you. So sorry, but thanks for letting me know that, mate. I really appreciate it, and I will be thinking of her. Guys, to talk a little bit more, thanks for everyone who's joined. I know the Bulldogs are coming up soon, and you probably can't wait. Maybe have a couple of beers or do whatever you enjoy in the meantime. Make sure that your streaming services are working. I'll be doing that for sure. Got me full kit on. You're welcome, Timothy. Definitely welcome, mate. Let's get out there and watch them. All right. And look, it is a trial. So both sides have named a couple of really good players, some really good up-and-comers. And but I think we've got the edge. But obviously I know my team better than I know the Tigers side. But I do know the Tigers have got a lot of talent in that team as well. David Clemmer's playing, an old Bulldog. So let's go and have a look at their side. So Heath Mason's played a fair bit. Jarrell Skelton. Josh Felides, a real goer. Same with Fatape. I haven't seen much of Alex Lobb, but I'm sure we'll get to know him pretty well today. Lockie Galvin and Latu Fainu are two of the best young halves in the comp. As I said, I really liked Tim Johansson, and he was one that I felt like we wouldn't have won the Jersey Flag in 23 without him. He came off the bench, and I felt he was like one of the differences in that match. So Kit Lalili, haven't seen much of him, or Suka. Obviously, Sione Fainu, one of the three brothers. Justin Matamua. And it looks like David Clemmer is no longer named in the side, so he's not playing. So they named him, but he's not playing. It was asked if Kurt Mann had an injury, and Cameron Serraldo played that down, said no. But there you go. My missus was just messaging me, so I had to say hello to her. But everyone, get excited. I'm excited to see how Danny Gabriel goes today as well, and Ratu Rinikama. Jonathan Sewer's at that next level already. These young fellas will be pretty nervous today and be looking to show what they've been doing over the preseason. And they're going to have their hands full defensively out there. There's some players in that West back line, I think, have got a fair bit of experience and sort of been fringe and on the scene for a while. So they're going to be prepared. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a fair bit of fire in this match for a trial. Obviously, Drew Hutchison and the like are going to want to make first grade at some point again. Joey O'Neill, I think, is on the precipice. And then you got the likes of Saluka, Fafita, and Hughes, who I think will be out there to try and play, 15, 20 minutes each, full throttle. And before we start seeing players like Amone, Alec Jones, and Jack Todd, who I think will get through quite a fair bit of the match. I just think they want to put these big fellas out there to take that early, sting out of the game. and then watch our young fellas roll. Obviously, very confident in the ability of Harry Hayes and Lipoi Hopoi, although Hopoi on that edge does worry me a little bit. And I do wonder if Jamin Salmon will play the edge and Hopoi will play in that middle type role to start the match. Or let's hope if he's been training on the edge that he is someone who is ready to rock and roll defensively in that way, because he'll remember his round one against Parramatta. It wasn't good last year in New South Wales Cup, but the rest of his year was absolutely fantastic. So he knows exactly how to bounce back, and that shows he's got a great attitude. And it's no wonder he is elevated to the top 30 for the Bulldogs from next season. So there you go, guys. I'm pretty fired up. Damo Dogs, with Pap signed to the Storm, mutual option 2027. Can you see Falago as our rockstar fullback? As I believe he's an option with Pap signing. Look, I wouldn't rule anything out. I think there would be I think they are looking for a rockstar fullback potentially to join the Bulldogs. I know, they've obviously let a good one go in Joash Papali, who did a good job against the Knights on the weekend. Did a very good job. Come on and really some really good straight attack from the Eels, to be honest. And I really like what Volkman did, and obviously the others played off the back of it. They really straightened up the attack well, and it suited players with fleet of foot and with a bit of attacking prowess like Joash Papali. It suited all of them, to be honest. So I wouldn't be writing the Eels off. Anyone's writing the Eels off is disrespect the hell out of them. Like, they're fuckwits. They're the Eels. And we hate them. And they hate us. But that's fine. But respect their ability is what I'm saying. But yeah, look, Pappenhausen might still be an option for us. I'd like to see him get, it's one of those things. I'd like to see him get suspended for half a season for some reason, especially when we have to play them. Falongo is definitely, I think we'll see the best of him in another 2 or 3 years, and we'll see what happens with him. But it's one of those things they've got to weigh up. They've managed to keep Peze, they've managed to keep Falongo, and keep the players in that spine like Munster, Pappenhausen, Hughes, and Grant. So, obviously they can't afford them all. And obviously, some players are going to be forced out. So we might see a few more retirements and stuff like that, potentially. But, guys, I'm only going to go for 20 minutes today. I just thought I'd give my thoughts. Definitely look out for players like I like this William Afawalo. I was worried he might have left the club, but he played. He's a big boy, I'm pretty sure. So I want to see him get on there. He's one which played in the Jersey Flegg grand final, if he's got to watch that, and his performance was pretty good, I must say. So he's another one that I would be keeping an eye on. So there you go. So I can't stay much longer, guys. So he scored a try in the 10th minute for the Dogs in the Jersey Flegg grand final. He's a big boy. He's got a lot of power about him, and I'm glad he's still with the club. I hadn't heard much about him, and I'm looking forward to watching him play today. As I am Rini Kama. Since Harold Matz, he's just looked a step above. Big Fijian winger. Obviously, Jonathan Sewer, Jack Todd, Jack Underhill. Can't wait to see these players. But straight up, Daniel Saluka Fafita, Tom Amone, Sam Hughes. How are they going to go as Bulldogs? Joey O'Neill, Cassius Tia. Get to know some of these names, guys, if you haven't already. I'm sure most of us are the same. We know them all already. Been watching them for a while. So I'm not really telling you much you don't know, but fucking can't wait to watch them, eh? Damo says, Todd Famese, he was next in line prior to broken arms. Yeah, well, that's what Gus said last year. And Lipboy was the benefactor of that, not to take anything away from him. And he did a great job, Lipboy, Hot Boy, in, getting that opportunity. And Harley made a mistake, took his carries, played his minutes, eased him in. And let's hope he's gone up another level because, look, if these players like Lipboy, Hot Boy, and Harry Hayes dominate NRL the way they dominate the juniors, and that's always the biggest question mark. Some can just make it as fringe players, some can come in and just do a job, and others can come in and dominate. And obviously they're not all going to dominate, but if we can get one or two or three of those players come in and play at the level that they were in New South Wales Cup, in Flegg, SG Ball, and the like, it's good times for the Bulldogs. And a lot of these players we're in love with now may not be with us because we have to make room for them to get these young kids up and into it. But I wouldn't be writing off Connor Tracy. I know Connor Tracy's getting older, but to me, Connor Tracy is a very classy footballer, and there's a reason we brought him across. And to have no preseason last year, come in after a few rounds after Taff sort of got injured, and then not really give Blake another chance to get back, that's a good sign of a good player with some experience. So I'm tipping the Dogs today to win 24 points to 10. There we go. I'd be happy with that. But I'd be happy, obviously, want us to win everything we go in, but understanding that it's all about them getting their systems right, them playing to a plan, and them, doing what they got to do to impress the coach. And if they impress the coach in the long run, it's always going to impress our fans. So have a good day, guys. Good luck to the Dogs. Can't wait to watch it. And I will see you all maybe for an after game. I'm not sure. See how we go. But don't get too stressed. Just enjoy the game. Enjoy watching the young fellas. And thanks for tuning in. Go the Dogs.